What an absolutely terrific night for the city of Manchester and, of course, Manchester United. I'll start with you first. Now, I said Andrew, you've been messing me around all day. Andrew or Andy? Give me a proper answer.
I'll give you one. Call me sir if you like.
But why was it Andy to Andrew?
No, it wasn't, to be fair. It's just the press boys kept asking me what I like, Andy or Andrew. So I said, look, that's what my mother calls me. She calls me Andrew, so call me Andrew. So it's all started fun, mate, but it's a nonsense, really.
So you don't actually care?
No, I'm not fussed.
Right, but I know you do care about Manchester as a city. Let's start with City themselves. That is some sound thrashing they handed out tonight. When you win a game like that, by that big a margin, do you come away thinking, well, that was too easy, or is it laying down a marker?
In Europe, you're laying down a marker, because ultimately no game in this competition is supposed to be easy. So I think for Manchester City, that's just laying down another marker. It's another, 6 goals, what they got at the weekend. You know, so they're a quality team, they're playing quality football, and they'll be out there when it comes to trying to win the competition this season. I think they've got more than enough quality to do it, but, you know, when you see other teams in the competition, we'll have to wait and see.
What did you make of them tonight, Craig?
Yeah, impressive, but just doing what they do. You know, even watching them on Sunday, it's like they're just getting better. That's the worrying sign for everyone else. It's the football they're playing at the moment is the best I've seen in the Premier League.
Yeah, steady on.
Oh no, yeah, I have to apologise for that. Yeah. But I just their movement, the players are on form. You know, they've just got so many players, and what I like about them, it's just their willingness to. All right, they didn't do it Sunday, but the importance of keeping clean sheets as well. You know, they really look tight at the back, and, you know, we know about them going forward. We know the attacking options they have, the creativity they have in the team. But defensively, they've been really sharp this season as well.
Well, perhaps tonight, I mean, they were expected to beat Shakhtar. Shakhtar have never won.
Yeah, struggle away from home, yeah.
Yeah, they're poor away from home. But this is a club whose fans aren't particularly enthralled by the Champions League. They're not in love with this competition. Could that possibly do something to ignite the fans' enthusiasm?
Well, I think that's what Manchester City are hoping for. But then you've got to ask yourself the question, why? Why are you not in love with this competition as a fan? Because this is the premier competition when it comes to European football, for club football. And I think if you speak to any major club in Europe, this is the competition they want to win. So you ask yourself the question, like I said, why are you not enjoying this competition? You know, you're watching some real quality teams come to your football ground. It's a kind of competition you got to embrace, you know, because if you look at Manchester United, they embrace the competition because Manchester United know how big the competition is. So I'm very, very, very surprised by that, to be honest.
Now, in your career as a striker, I'm sure you were frustrated sometimes by referees' decisions that went against you, and sometimes you got a little bit of luck. Have you ever seen anything like that we saw from Raheem Sterling? Well, not from him, from the referee.
No, definitely not. I think the referee's got to have a look at himself. I was saying about it, the referee's got to get himself in a position where he can see what's going on. I'm not sure what position he's in because he can't see it.
He's not in the best position to see it.
But then I think when Raheem Sterling finishes the game today and the lads say to him, come on, I think he'll be doing a Robbie Fowler and saying, look.
Oh, like he did against Dave Seaman?
Yeah, definitely. He's one of those ones. He's definitely one of those ones.
Would you have done that? If you're Raheem Sterling, you know it's not a penalty. And listen, would any player, forget Raheem Sterling, any player, when you know it's not a penalty, you can say to the ref, that wasn't a pen?
No, because I do believe as well you will not be given pens when you deserve them as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know, it will swing round, so you take it. All right, it's not a penalty, but I'll take it as well. Important game, it's more important the team wins. Yeah, there's a certain element to what's being fair, but at the same time as well, listen, football's not always fair. You know, life isn't always fair. So you just have to get on with it. Listen, he's given the pen. It's his mistake. It's not my problem. He's the one who's made the mistake. What is the third official doing? And like we always say, they're a waste of time. They offer nothing to the game. And that's another indication that, do you know what, like whether it's UEFA or FIFA, stop wasting your money paying these guys to stand behind a goal because they're offering you nothing. So and if he can't see it, the referee can't, should he be in a better position? Yeah. But he can't always be. Look, where he was, I can see why he thought it would have been a penalty, but he's got to get help then. And even though there's a linesman as well, should be able to play, should be able to see it. OK, even if he is blocked, the third official's got to see it. And not to mention anything, I don't know, they all seem to be, I find it even on like Saturdays, even with under 18s, they don't want to undermine the ref. If he's give it, we don't want to recorrect. No, you're doing it for the sake of the game. You're doing it to help him. You're not doing it to save face or anything. But at the same time, it's a shocking decision. But it isn't Raheem Sterling's fault. He didn't dive. He literally kicked the floor. It was an incredible error from him, from a player who's playing incredible football at this moment. So he can't, listen, it was a mistake by the officials, nothing to do with Raheem Sterling or Manchester City.
Well, I mean, Six, as I said, they're as good as qualified. There's got to wait on the other result, but they're virtually home and hosed. And with that result tonight as well, they're going to feel they're through, aren't they?
Yeah, of course. I think if you're looking at 10 points. Either way, you get 10 points in, and then you see yourself through. I think the majority of the time you always want to try and win the group. But when it gets to this stage, especially Champions League football, people are always desperate to win the group. But sometimes when one of the big boys don't win the group, you are saying to yourself, was it better to finish second anyway? But I think Manchester City will be delighted with the result they've got today for sure. I mean,
I don't think I'm over-egging it to say they are as good as qualified now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Technically, no, but...
No, but it's important as well to go to Lyon, because obviously Lyon won at the Etihad and they want to put that right as well. So I see him still going strong. I completely agree with you. I do see him being qualified. Going back to, their supporters finding an interest in this competition or being in love with it, I think that it's history, if you understand what I mean. Manchester United got loads of history in the competition. They know what those nights mean. Liverpool have. And Manchester City is new to them. It's new, this Champions League.
If they got to the final, then would the punters turn up then?
Oh, yeah, of course they would. Of course, yeah, but it's a final, But look, their ambition for this football club is to win a Champions League, is to become the best team in the world. I do believe it is a matter of time. But supporters, really, that comes with history, that comes with know-how, that comes being in the competition. I still believe at the moment the mindset of the supporters is league titles. We've just got to keep winning league titles, keep getting the numbers up to get to the likes of Manchester United and Liverpool, which is going to take a long, long time.
Let's turn our attention to Manchester United. It was nearly 20 years ago when you were involved in, obviously, one of the most famous ever Manchester United Champions League results. Not as important this in terms of the stages. Yours was a semi-final. But in a way, did this have echoes of that? When you saw those pictures at the end, the celebrations and what it meant to the team?
I think today's a massive result because we got to be honest, I'm not sure how many people expected Manchester United to go there and get a win this evening. Me, for one, I thought if they left, they would have drawn today. Would have been a real good, positive result, because Juventus have been so strong at home. But to come away winning, that's a big, big result, especially come the weekend as well, playing a derby the weekend. So everyone will be absolutely buzzing with that result. Because naturally, you're going to be, because like I said, Juventus are a strong team, the favourites to win the competition. So you leaving Italy tonight with that result, that's a major, major boost. And Mourinho will be delighted. I think everyone at Manchester United flying home tonight will be delighted with that result.
I was interested as well. I mean, Jose Mourinho, I don't know if this is psychology. I mean, you're in and around the club a lot, but he said before the game, look, this is not our priority. This is not the game that will decide whether or not we qualify for the second stage. Do you think he's absolutely played a blinder there in terms of taking the pressure? And do you think what he was said in the dressing room would have been very different?
Yeah, I'd like to, to believe so, being Manchester United and being Mourinho. But the dominance Juventus showed at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago there was a big gap. It was a big gap. So it would have been probably unrealistic for him to come out in the press then to say, look, I expect to come here and win. Because this Juventus team is really geared for this competition. You can see by the signings they've made, not just with obviously Ronaldo, but over the last 2 years they've been gunning for this competition. They're a top team, one of the informed teams, probably if not the informed team in Europe at this moment. So credit to Manchester United. Like again, second half they made it late. Fellaini comes on, more direct, and I have to. After watching the first game, I wouldn't have given him a chance of getting the result, and especially after Ronaldo's goal. Juventus missed a big chance for it to go 2-0. But credit to Manchester United, credit to their character as well, because it's a massive win, not just for Champions League, but also going into Manchester City then on the weekend. What a huge boost it is for them.
Well, let's have a look at the group to actually put that result into context. As we said, I mean, going there when really they didn't think they would, you know, a lot of United fans probably would have been happy with a draw, wouldn't they?
I would have been happy with a draw. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I was going to be happy with a draw. I was asked about it yesterday, and I said, look, I'll take a draw now. You know, because a draw would have been a positive result. A win's a fantastic result, if you look at it. And then you look at the 2 other games from there, you know, you're going to say to yourself, well, Manchester United really now got to be looking to try and qualify. Not look to qualify, should be qualifying. But as we know, football, anything's possible. It's going to have a tough game in Spain against Valencia. So that'll be a difficult one. So I think Mourinho touched on, you know, the next 2 games, he's going to sort the group out for Manchester United. So we'll have to wait and see.
What that win now is, you look at the remaining 2 games, but it needs 1 win.
Yeah, of course.
They get 1 win, and that's how big that result is tonight. Where, you know, if anything, if they would have lost, they would have needed a 2, and Valencia away is always going to be difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's such a bonus for them to win that game now. I believe they've qualified.
What did you make of the performance tonight? The actual detail of the performance, how they played United?
I think that there was better than the first game. I think that was very organised. And this game, I think they tried to have a go at Juventus a little bit more than they did at the first game. Like Bella's touched on there, I think Juventus won the first game out of Cantor. They really did. I thought they played really well, dominated possession, you know, kept the ball moving nicely. Cuadrado missed a very good chance to make it 2-0. But then Man United, I'm not even going to say got away with it. You know, they got themselves 2 goals to win the game. 2 goalkeeping mistakes. I think if you look at Szczesny there, he makes a big step to his left, and I fancied Wan because Wan's got that quality. And then the second one, I'm not sure what he's done there, but Manchester United got to take him, move on. Very, very happy with the result there.
It was an interesting night as well. It would have been for Paul Pogba, going back to his old stomping ground. And did he look to you as though he rose to the occasion?
He played well. He played well.
Get
it out, man. Get it out.
Is that begrudging praise?
No, I'm like I listen. I'm a big fan of him. Of course I am. But I still want to see where's he best. You know, and you know, we talk about centre midfields. The best football I've seen him play, and I know, look, Coley's seen him way more than I have, and he'd have a better feel for the player than I could do, because you've watched him train. You know what type of person he is. You know what type of player he is. But when I seen him at Juventus, I liked the position he played. I liked that free spirit he has, because he's creative. He can see things. He's definitely a match winner. Sometimes he does it in areas that will cause his team problems. Look, and I never want to take that creativity, that spark, that individuality out of a player. But I don't know, sometimes he leaves me, whether or not he's got the players around him that he needs to be able to excel and make him become the player he wants to become, or he hasn't got the ability around him and he's trying to do too much. I'm just in between both at this present moment.
So you're not doubting his ability?
I certainly wouldn't doubt his ability. His ability is clear. Tactically, his game intelligence sometimes does leave me wanting. But I'm in the middle of this at the moment, where maybe it's difficult to judge his game intelligence because he's trying too much. Mm-hmm. He's trying to do other people's parts, other people's games to make up for what certain players are not doing in the team. He's trying to do too much, and once you do that, you lose focus of your own game, your own responsibilities. And so I'm a little bit in between. If that makes some sort of sense to you, Jeff.
Did that make sense to you?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Paul Pogba must be one of the most talked about players, and his influence. What do you make?
I'm a big fan. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not a big fan. I'm a massive fan. And sometimes I say to myself, yeah, he does try to do a little bit too much, and he might try to be too creative at times because he's frustrated with this or he's frustrated with that. But if you look at him, if you look at his time at Juventus, you know, if you look at him in the national team for France, we all know he's got the quality. We all know what he can produce. And when you get to the stage, you get frustrated in games, you always want to do a little bit more. You know? But he's got the quality in abundance. Just to watch him sometimes, you know, when he's on blob, and just to watch him, he's got creativity, he's got a great engine. You know, he's got good passing. I really do enjoy watching him. So I'm a big fan. I'm not going to sit here and say he can't do this, he can't do that, because I can't play midfield. You know, but I know his qualities and that, and like I said, I just enjoy watching him.
OK, I've got a question for you. What does Anthony Martial have to improve on to become the best in the world?
Well, the good thing at the moment is playing with a hell of a lot of confidence. I mean, when he first came to Manchester United, I think everyone looked at him and said, wow, we've got one here. And then if it was confidence or being homesick or whatever it may be, you know, he struggled for a little bit. Now he's got himself back in the team, he's having a run in the team, he's scoring goals and he's playing with a hell of a lot of confidence. So confidence for me is massive in football. Now, if he can keep that at as high as he can do, if you look at his ability stands out. It really does stand out. So when you talk about what's he need to do, play well week in, week out, i.e. Ronaldo, i.e. Messi, and players like that, that's how you're going to become the best players in the world.
I'll actually ask you, what is he, Anthony Martial? What is his best position?
Out wide.
Same as you, cutting in off the wing?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Cutting in position-wise.
Football changed. Coley, you just missed it. When you left the game, when it was 2 up top, I went to 3 then. So halfway through my career, I had to go out wide, either one wing or the other. You would have been out wide. Don't worry about that. No, you definitely would have. You can score way more goals than me.
Come on.
But I believe he's a wide man. All the pace in the world, I just want him to use it more. I want him to be ruthless. If he, say for it, you know, like I'd always go back to one of the best wingers I ever seen in the Premier League was Mark Overmars. Just menacing.
Yeah.
Would run you outside, would run you inside. You go inside, then shoot. So you overcompensate, then he'll show you line, and he would take you to the cleaners going line. He was that hurt, you know, he would. And even if you watch now the likes, say for instance, at the top of my head, like a Kyle Walker, if he's got the better of you for pace, he makes no bones about it. He's a opposition fullback, or he's a nightmare because he'll just take you out the game. So, say for instance, Mata was playing against him now this weekend. Worst case scenario for Mata would be because Kyle Walker would purposely pick the ball up and just go by you. Yeah. I'm going to actually beat you, and not just beat you, but it's brutality towards it, menacingly.
He's got that in his locker.
Yeah, do it. And that's what I want it, because he's got the beating of a lot of fullbacks in this league. You know, 90-odd% of fullbacks in this league. I just want to just say he would be a fullback's nightmare if he just hit and run. Because you wouldn't be able to deal with that pace. Impossible to deal with. I just feel sometimes it takes too many touches. He's too willing to come inside, just hurt him that way a couple of times. And that's all you need. Then he'll back off that way. He'll want to show you inside. And then you can go by him inside. And then you can start playing 1-2s or get a shot off goal. There's a lot to this boy's game. Now it's great. He's got confidence. Now I want to see him now really kick on because he has the ability to do so.
OK, it's interesting when you look at the two Manchester clubs as to who will go furthest. Look at the managers' pedigrees and what they've done in the Champions League, and it is quite extraordinary what they've both done in their career, how far they've gone and what they've actually achieved in this competition. But also, tonight, I mean, Jose Mourinho has had an awful lot of criticism this season. Tonight was that classic Mourinho performance, to go there, to pull out a big result like that.
It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, so you could say that's classic Mourinho, because, you know, when Man United not expected to get a result, You know, I think, was it a month ago? When he was saying after the Newcastle game, that's it, it's finished.
Well, it was before the game was even played.
Yeah. You know, he's playing against Juventus today. Man United then will be Juventus 2-1. You know, so that sums him up.
But does it really sum him up, though, or is it Manchester United?
As a football club?
Yeah, that's what Manchester United do.
Yeah, that's what Man United do.
You can't write off Manchester United.
No, because Man United can get some crazy results at time when people not expecting us to get those kind of results. You know, and things like that happen. Like I said, I was one today, I would take a draw. You know, and then the go there and win.
Have you sensed a shift in the mood in the camp and the results of late? You go back to, as you say, before the Newcastle game, that was probably the lowest it could get.
I would say so, but in footballing terms, you win games, it changes everything. It changes everything, you know. And the more you win, the more confidence you get as a team, as a manager, and everyone starts to galvanise and all starts to knit together. I was watching it yesterday, some of the clips. You know, he gives Jose a high five and Jose gives him a pat on the back. It was about 2 months ago. We're not seeing that. So something's changed in the camp, you know, to whereby that's happening. The result today, you know, the way they play, very, very spirited, you know, and have come up with a fantastic result.
And his mood would have changed as well as a manager, wouldn't it? Of course it does.
He looked happy as he came off tonight.
You're a lot happier. And once you're not, then you'll pick at anything. Then
Yeah.
you're just, you know, you're frustrated.
You didn't like that at the end, did you, when he waved to the crowd?
No, what did he wave? No, he didn't wave. So why are you politely...
We're just waving like
He's
that.
antagonising him. And look, and
Some people are like that.
I have no problem with it, and I'm sure they would have given him stick, but, you know, it's not about you. It's about your team.